Hello, wonderful people. Welcome back to this wonderful channel where we bring you back-to-back update as an information as it is hot. Enugu State Governor has approached Tinubu seeking for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release. The new governor of Enugu State has taken this bold step, Peter Mba, to seek Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release. This is where he should have started, because when he assumed office, he thought that what is happening in the southeast and the issue of the IPOB and the Biafra freedom and referendum is what he could approach with rough hands and violence, but he saw that that was not going to happen, and he has decided to follow the right truth. Meanwhile, before I will bring you the full details of this information as it is hot today, if this is your first time of joining us on this wonderful channel, please go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news is dropping, you will be the first to collect it. Let's go down to the news proper as it is hot. Governor Peter Mba of Enugu State has opened conversation on the release of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, requesting President Bola Tinubu to give the matter utmost consideration to extend a hand of fellowship to the Southeast people. Mba told State House correspondents after a private meeting with the president on Thursday that among the issues discussed was the possible release of the secessionist agitator who has had series of favorable court judgments over his prosecution. The governor said Kanu's release will engender national healing process already begun by the president. He expressed the hope that the president would give a favorable consideration to the request. Mba also disclosed that he also appealed for the assistance of the federal government to explore the abundant mineral resources in Enugu State for the benefit of the people. Addressing State House correspondents after his meeting with the president, the Enugu governor said, "We have a number of dominant assets in Enugu which we believe, partnering with the federal government, we are able to transform them into productive assets. A lot of people do not know, but we have huge mineral resources in a new group. And these resources are sitting under our ground, not being productive. So we believe with the partnership we are trying to basically build with the federal government, we are able to transform these assets into productive assets. Of course, you know that the growth level we have proposed is one that is going to be driven by private sectors, and private sector wants the ease of doing business, and one of the core indicators of the ease of doing business is security and infrastructure." So we also had that conversation with Mr. President. We have made a very strong announcement. We've banned sit-at-home on Mondays in Enugu, and obviously what that means is that we need you to know that we have heightened our security, tackle the challenges but would flow from that. And you know, essentially, that's what I have come to do. And finally, we also, of course, tackled about the release of Nnamdi Kanu. You know that the Southeast has made a collective demand to have Nnamdi Kanu released. And we basically identified with that and request Mr. President, who in his inaugural address promised the people that he is going to engender national healing and he is going to serve with compassion. So we've basically informed him that this would serve as a pointer to his administration extension of hands of fellowship. My people, now don't see as it dey happen. You know, Peter Mba started, he wanted to do things in a rough way. Because, you know, somebody, asana na onye bụ onye ụzọ sibe ite na aki enwe mkpọmkpọ aya. Somebody who has not been there, or maybe who has not been in this office of the governor, or maybe the president will be thinking that if I get there, I will just shut IPOB shut ESN, make sure that nothing like them exists. But forgetting that this is an ideology. These are people. And not only that, you are seeing just the group, you are seeing Mazen and the Kanu, seeing Simon Ekpa and the rest of them, maybe a few number of them, forgetting that this ideology is dominant in the heart of almost every Igbo man. Some of them might not tell you because of fear. Some might not come openly to tell you, actually, it is in our hands that we want to leave Nigeria and have a nation of our own, because maybe they have businesses, they have things they want to protect. Because, of course, you know what Africa looks like, that when you start demanding for your freedom, and also they will start tackling you, making sure that they affect your business, because Africa is more like an underdeveloped world. Now, when Peter Mba assumed office, he thought that with a thick hand, there is this saying when after Solomon ruled Israel, yes, he was a good leader, a good king. He was wise. But because he had so many things, quest for so many things that he wanted to fulfill in life, he had a golden this thing in Lebanon, golden sword, many places, had chariots of gold, chariots of iron, chariots of this. In many places, he was, getting into many, and because of that, he started taxing the children of Israel. A lot of taxes were paid from the children, even though that there were wealth coming in from other countries, from the Arabians, from the Mediterraneans, wealth were trooping into Israel, and even from Sheba, because people loved Solomon's wisdom and they wanted to listen to him. But even as that some of those things that came in, then history had it that silver was like stone in the streets of Israel. You can easily get silver. But upon that, the children of Israel were taxed because he was doing a lot of work. Imagine when he started building his city in Lebanon, in the forest of Lebanon. He took almost the youths in Israel, all of them. Some people will work 6 months and come back to their wife. Others will work 6 months, go back and all that. And the people was pained. And after his demise, when he died, they now came to his son and said, your father, Solomon, placed a lot of burden upon us. And they asked him that, if you will help us and free this burden, we will be your subject, we will be your servants. And when the boy went, he consulted the elders, men of wisdom. And the elders told him, accept the people's offer. Allow them, tell them that you will ease their burden. He said, okay. He went also to the youth, those he grew up with, young boys who were smoking goof and the rest of them. Then I said, tell them that your father's hand is thin and your own will be thick. And your father whipped them with horse. I even whipped them with a rod. Now he went back and said this thing to the elders, and everywhere scattered. The whole of Israel divided and said, to hell with the house of Jesse. And that is what could have happened to Peter Mba. This man, Soludo, tried the same thing. The Igbo people could have said to hell with Soludo. Because when Soludo was voted into office, there was chaos everywhere. There was katakata. People thought that election in Anambra will not hold. And the IPOB member said, since this man is an Apoga man, he's our man. Nnamdi Kanu also said, let there be no violence. And that day, there was peace. People voted the way they wanted to vote. And now, Soludo came in, forgetting everything that had happened. Instead of finding a way to, help your brothers, make sure that your man is released, you started with violence. And he saw what it resulted. Now, Peter Mba came in without asking questions, making proper consultations to see what is actually happening in the state. Yes, people are saying that IPOB are causing trouble, ESN are causing trouble. Is it really the IPOB? Is it really the ESN? Or is it there are some political figures who have hidden under the umbrella of the IPOB to start causing trouble in the state? He did not observe that, he did not check, he did not inquire. The first thing he did was to give an ultimatum that the Monday sit at home will not hold anymore. And he saw that people rejected that offer. People were reluctant about it. Nobody paid attention to it. But I think now that Peter Mba is starting to rethink. He has started to retrace his step because this morning he is going to Mr. President to see how best he will appeal so that Nnamdi Kanu will be released from the DSS detention. And that is a very good move. It's a very good move. This is showing that he is an Igbo blood. Yes, Asana na anusia no obi. Anusia na mwemegini ebulu naba no obi. No matter whatever your brother, if they say that your brother has killed somebody, yes, rescue him first. When you get home, if there is any punishment for him, you give him punishment at home as your brother. But first, you have protected him, you have liberated him, you have saved him from trouble before you will now start judging him. That's the thing. When these people were looking for Samson, the Philistines, his people held him. He told these people, please don't kill me. Just give me to the Philistines. I know how to handle them. Because no one can do Igbo sin again. No one na-egbu onye n'isi na-achị ahụ. Onye ụnọ, ọgụ ọbụla si n'ụnọ. Ọbụna ogbuloi, malụ n'isi acha ya ahụ. So, ewepụ ọgụ ụnọ. Emakwa na dike ya bụ dike be nne ya. Une ọkwa n'igwe nọ nnukwu onye Igbo kunu na ya na-anọ ha sịkọ na anyụkọ mamịlị ọnụ ọgbakọ ọfụfụ. Na azịza dị n'ukwu na ara agbajuru ọkwọ nne ya n'ike. Ịghọtago? Na ọkwa kpalakwụkpala akwụ onye nwe isi akwụ ebili isi akwụ. Kene m unu ndị ọma na-ege ntị, ndị njibiri, ndị njiama ọnụ, ndị mara ha ndị alụkọ. Ewepụkwa unu onwe ofufe ga-adị ka enwe na-asị unu ka emesịa nụ ka idobiri ebe a.